everyone, I'm here with a 2022 Subaru Outback, and today I want to do 10 things that you didn't know about the 6th generation of the Subaru Outback, which so far is model years 2020 through 2022, and some of these will be applicable to the 2023 model year that is coming up this summer and is going to be revealed pretty soon, and we can get some of that information from the 2022 Forester that just came out, and that'll be applicable to one of the things you didn't know about this car. So the first thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback is that it actually has these side intrusion door beam hooks that hook into the frame of the car to prevent intrusion and a side impact. And this is a feature from all Subarus over the last about 10 to 15 years. And basically it has a hook that's underneath here. It's like a little pole that hooks in when you close the door right here into the side of the body. So it hooks into the body frame, which is the strongest part of the car at the bottom of the door. And that helps prevent intrusion into the cabin in a pretty severe side impact. The second thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback for the 6th generation is that it has long distance radar sensors in the rear bumper, and that will actually detect vehicles from up to almost a football field approaching quickly from behind the car, and they're mounted back here on the left and right hand sides of the vehicle. And basically what it'll do is alight a little light here in the mirror, just on the side of the mirror. So you can see right there, it'll light up a mirror and actually flash it if you were to put on your turn signal and someone is approaching quickly from behind. So that'll help keep people safe and prevent you from changing lanes into someone that may be coming up fast behind you to the side or is in your blind spot already. The third thing you didn't know about the 6th generation Subaru Outback is that when equipped with the $273 automatic dimming side mirrors, it will actually have this approach light feature in the dark. So when you approach the vehicle at night, this Subaru emblem inside this light here will actually illuminate your entry into the car on the side. So that way it'll light up kind of like your path to get into the vehicle, and will prepare to get you into the car at night. So it senses that the key is on you, and as you walk towards the car, that's when the lights in the mirrors will actually turn on. And then actually, when you leave the vehicle after locking it, the lights will stay on at night and then will automatically dim and fade after you have left about 20 feet from the vehicle. So that's actually really impressive that this approach and exit lighting feature is included on the 6th generation of the Subaru Outback. The fourth thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback is that if you ever have a dead battery or disconnect the battery to do a test or do service and it's not done correctly at the dealer or at a service shop, what you can do to reprogram all of your automatic up and down windows is what you want to do first is open your front driver's door here. So if your windows will not automatically go all the way up or all the way down when you hold and press the second detent on each switch, what you want to do is roll the window all the way down, then pull the window all the way back up, and then wait 15 seconds and continue holding the switch up after the window is fully closed, and do that for 5 seconds. So hold the switch for 5 seconds after closing the window all the way. And then you want to go over to the passenger side, the right rear door and the left rear door, and do that exact same process where you roll the window all the way down, then roll it all the way back up and hold the switch up for 5 seconds after the window is fully closed. And then you'll want to go over to each switch just to verify that you can roll up and down the windows, and you can do that from the driver's side master switch as well. So that's kind of a neat little trick in case the Subaru dealer or a service shop ever has any difficulty after you've already taken off the battery of the vehicle. So just something to keep in mind for those that keep their car or have it serviced pretty often by a dealer that they don't really trust, or a service shop that may not know that procedure. The fifth thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback for the 6th generation, and this is also shared with the previous generation, the 5th generation, is that if you go underneath the load floor here and then pull up the load floor, it can be kind of difficult if you have this little mat here. But it actually has a little loop here that you can pull out, a little tether, and this will actually hook onto the weather stripping up here if you need to change out a spare tire, or if you have any issues on the side of the road. This little hook here will hold the whole load floor up onto the weather strip to keep your work area nice and clean and to make it easier for you. So that's really nice that Subaru included that on the 6th generation Outback. The sixth thing you didn't know about the 6th generation Outback equipped with this rear cargo shade is that it actually has two positions that you can do the cargo shade. You can have it in the standard position, or you can actually slide it up into this position, which is higher and easier to load stuff into the vehicle, and it'll still shut most of the privacy. It'll keep the privacy of your belongings secure inside the vehicle, even in that second position. What's also kind of nice is that if you were to have something in your hands and you need to quickly put it down and you're having difficulty doing that with something heavy, you can just simply pull up on this thing here swiftly, and it'll actually slide this whole thing up along its track. So if you just lift that up quickly, it'll slide the whole thing up fast, and then you have plenty of space in order to put that heavy belonging down in the cargo area. The seventh thing you didn't know about the 6th generation Subaru Outback is that it's actually one of the first vehicles in the world to have facial recognition for the driver memory system, which includes your mirrors, your seat, your radio presets, as well as your climate control settings. And this bar here, which will be on the vehicles that have the facial recognition system, will detect when someone gets into the vehicle, and if it matches a driver profile that is saved in the system, it will say welcome and then your name if you put your name in for your driver profile, and it'll move your seat, your mirrors, your presets, and your climate control system and your infotainment display and all those features to your desired position automatically once you get into the vehicle. And it'll actually say facial recognition or scan occurring inside the instrument panel here. An extra hidden bonus feature of the driver monitoring and facial recognition system is that for 2022 Subaru Foresters and the upcoming 2023 Outback, you're going to be able to use hand gestures with the facial recognition system with the bar here. So if you have an open palm up, it'll automatically raise the climate control by 4 degrees. And if you close your fist like this in front of the bar, then it will lower your temperature by 4 degrees. So you can actually adjust your climate control without taking your eyes off the road. And that's actually kind of nice because you don't have knobs for your climate control system anymore built into the 11.6-inch infotainment screen here. The eighth thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback is that it actually has these windows that will automatically power down and slow down as they approach the ends of their travel. So when I roll the window all the way down here, you can tell that it just slowed down right before it got to the bottom of the window there. And if I roll the window up and do auto up, it automatically slows as well about an inch before it closes up to the top of its travel. And that really first debuted in early to mid 2000 Lexus products, and it helps improve the seal to glass interface in order to improve the seal between the weather strip and the glass surface to give you slightly better and reduced wind noise in certain circumstances. It also prevents the clunk from occurring, so you don't have that awful clunk when you shut the window and lower the window. You don't hear that clunk when it hits the ends of its travel. The ninth thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback is that when the window is all the way down, the actual window here is butted up against what they call the inner and outer belt seals, and the inner belt seal is mounted just underneath the door panel, and the outer belt seal is actually mounted on the chrome outer belt molding on the outside of the car. And you can tell that the window is wedged in between those two flock lipped weather strips right there, and that helps keep the window stable when you're closing the door and you don't want it to make a rattling noise. And it also improves long-term durability because of the plastic rails that a lot of door modules have now. As you know, over thousands and thousands of door slams, that plastic rail system will eventually become brittle, and with temperature changes and fluctuations over the years will become brittle, and you want to minimize as much of that creaking and strain on that system as possible. So this helps provide a third mounting point in addition to the 2 mounting points that are actually in that door module system inside the door. So that's actually really impressive. So this car should have minimal door rattling from the window when you open and close the door. So that's actually really nice. If I open and close the door, yeah, you don't really hear much of that window vibrating back and forth or the rattle that you typically get with a lot of door window systems. The 10th thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback for the 6th generation is that when you have the vehicle in drive or neutral or reverse and you open the doors, whether or not your seatbelt's on or off, if you open the door, it will actually warn you to put the vehicle in park and to shift to park. It'll also say that same thing if I were to shut off the car with the vehicle still in drive. So if I shut off the vehicle with it in drive or reverse or neutral, first of all, it gives me a rear seat reminder, but then it also beeps continuously, kind of a really loud beep. And it will continue even if you open or close the door. Even if I take my foot off the brake, luckily the vehicle doesn't move, so I think that's because the torque converter is not locked up. But before you can start the car, just like any other car, you got to put it back in park. And then the beeping will stop and you can automatically get back in the vehicle and start it back up once it's in park. So it's kind of a nice safety feature that Subaru included so that people don't forget to put their vehicle in park. You know, it's been a long day, they got kids in the back seat, they're tired, things happen. You know, it's nice in those rare circumstances that the vehicle will actually warn you to put the vehicle back in park. The one thing I wish that it would do would put on the emergency parking brake. It's an electronic parking brake, so I don't see a reason why Subaru can't activate that parking brake if I were to let my foot off the brake with my seatbelt off and got out of the vehicle. It will not shift to park. It will not put on the emergency parking brake. So I think that's one improvement from a software update to the body control module or the engine control unit that Subaru could do to make it even a little bit safer. And as an extra bonus, this is the 11th thing you didn't know about the Subaru Outback for the 6th generation. If you have the radio on and you're in accessory mode, and let's say you're just having some food in the car, you're just chilling, your engine's off to save some fuel, and you're not waiting around for more than a half an hour not to risk your battery dying or anything like that. Let's say you just got it in accessory mode and you have the radio on, and just for copyright purposes, I'm going to keep it on static, but so we'll have it on static here on the radio, and you can hear how awful that static is. But if your music is playing and you want to start the car and you put your foot on the brake and you're in accessory mode and you want to start the engine, it doesn't mute the radio anymore or turn off your gauge cluster or your infotainment display when you start up the vehicle. Now this is pretty much enabled by a more sophisticated electrical architecture system, a more powerful battery, and an integrated battery sensor or intelligent battery sensor that senses how much charge is in the battery, and if it's over 80% or so, depending on the manufacturer, it could be 75 to 80% or more, it will not turn off your infotainment display or your gauge cluster, your music, or any other kind of features inside the vehicle like heated seats or heated steering wheel, things like that. And that just helps ensure passenger comfort and increases like the overall sense of quality and sophistication of the vehicle. And I think that's a really nice improvement that Subaru did that a lot of cars, especially German cars and back in the early 2010s, that started doing that. And now we see it across all different manufacturers, the Japanese, the Korean automakers like Kia and Hyundai, as well as the European and American manufacturers. So it's actually really nice that Subaru included that for the 2020 to 2022 6th generation Subaru Outback. So that's 10 things you didn't know about the 6th generation Subaru Outback from the 2020 to 2022 model years. And most of these features will be fully included in the 2023 model year as well with the upcoming refresh of the Subaru Outback. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video today and enjoyed the extra bonus thing that you did not know about this car, making it 11 things you didn't know about it. And I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the section below, and I'll talk to you later.